Hello, everybody. Oliver here, Spiritual Activator, coming to you live. And today, I want to share with you, okay, three really powerful lessons. These are spiritual lessons that I've learned, and when I did, it changed my entire life completely. Nothing was ever the same again. Like it was like night and day. Like looking back, at the trajectory of my life, and I look at when things started going up and I was happier and had more abundance, and like I just felt good and overall just like fulfilled. Like it was due to these three lessons embodied, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you all today. Right, so I'm going to see if I am live here, and let's do a little bit of a test to make sure technology is on our side today. So if you can see me and hear me, please comment yes and yes below. Yes and yes. And don't forget to drop where you are tuning in from. We have our community in over 60 plus different countries now. So it's amazing. A lot of love workers and life beings and like soul family from like literally all over the world. So it's exciting to see all of you here. So let me see here. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. I'm checking to see. Comment yes and yes. All right. And today is going to be a really powerful one. I was thinking about this for a while. It's like, you know what? If I were to be able to go back in time and rewind 16, 17 years or, even earlier and give myself three things, that if I gave myself those three things and I share what I've learned, like my life would be completely different. I would give these three things you're about to learn today because it would have saved me a lot of pain, trial and error, frustration, just being like sad and experiencing suffering and pain for no reason that would have been avoided had I learned this, had somebody shared this with me earlier on. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. And as I'm sharing these, if you are also like, if what I'm saying is something that resonates with you and you feel like it was impactful, please share it. Please share it. 'Cause again, my goal is to spread as much positivity and love and light in the world now more than ever, and we need it. We need it with a constant state that we're in and how we're vibrating as a consciousness. Right? It's very low. It's a lot of it right now. It's fear, anxiety. It is darkness, but that's not who we are. That's not what we came to this world with. We came here with light and love in our hearts and unlimited, potential for creating, something new and for really like helping heal everything we see out there. And that's why I'm so passionate. That's why I'm going here on lives, on videos, sharing like my heart and my soul, because like what I'm sharing with you is something that I've used to change my life. And I look around, and because if it's just changed my life, that's one thing, right? And I probably would keep that to myself and figure if it can help others. But what I've done is I use it on myself and I share it with people, in close circles at first, and I see it transform their lives. And when it does, I'm like, all right, let me share it with more people. And now I'm seeing it transform lives from 60 plus different countries. And I'm like, all right, I got it. This works. This is not a theory anymore. All right. So the first thing I want to share with you is this. I'm going to ask you a question. Right now, are you living from your human story, or are you living from your divine story? And I want you to sit with that for a bit. Okay. And comment below once you figure it out. And I'm going to go over what a human story and divine story is all about and why this concept is so powerful that it actually has like changed the way I live my life. Like even if this is the only thing that you get from this video, it will help, right? So your human story is everything that's ever happened to you. All the pain, all the stories that you've experienced that you tell yourself based on your life, right? Like I was unloved, I was inadequate. People are out there to hurt me. I was invisible. I'm not successful. My parents were abusive, or I was in toxic relationships. Like everything that we've experienced, our suffering, our pain, adds up to our human story, right? So that is very much part of our past. But then there's also what I call your divine story. And this is why you were even born. This is the reason that you exist, right? For example, and this is I'll tell you a story of how this really hit home for me. I remember for the longest time, I've been doing what I'm doing now, which is like sharing wisdom and doing healings and clearings and spiritual activations. And I did it for a good started in 2006 and 6-ish, 7-ish, and I've gone on. And I remember back in 2000 like 15 or 16, I was still hiding. I was still hiding under business and a business persona of entrepreneur, internet marketer, all over. And that's what I did. I was good at growing businesses and ideas online, right? But I had the side of me that I was hiding from the world because I was deathly afraid of being judged. I was afraid of being rejected. I was afraid of being looked at as weird because growing up, that was my life. I was that weird, awkward kid. I was the kid that had to eat in the bathroom stall because I was getting bullied and because I couldn't make friends and I just didn't fit in and I didn't want to look like I was eating by myself in the cafeteria. So I ate in the bathroom stall. So that was me. I was that kid. And in a lot of ways, it took me years and years and years to heal that part of me, but that was there. So I had a deep rooted seed of abandonment, rejection, inadequacy, and I was afraid of being hurt. So I was like, you know what? I found some success in business. I'm not gonna ruin it by one. This is my thoughts. I'm not gonna ruin it by sharing with people that I'm doing spiritual stuff and energetic stuff because that's too woo woo, and people are gonna laugh at it, right? And you're gonna lose business, and when you lose business, you lose livelihood. You can't provide for your family, and now you're gonna be a failure as a father. So it's just not good. So that was my logical mind talking, right? And I remember it because I was hiding, but hiding was literally so heavy on my soul. Because when you're hiding and you're trying to be somebody else or show a certain part of you, so you're not rejected, you're always walking on eggshells. You're always wondering, wow, they're liking this version of me, but if they knew the real me, would they even like the real me? Would they like it or would they run away? Would they be reject? Would they be will they reject me and run away? Is the real me even good enough? So for the longest time, I hid it, and not to mention, there are things in my past that I'm not happy about. I'm not proud of. I'm not proud of the person who I was back when I was starting in business and I was all about money, right? And when I had businesses that failed, and when I was selfish and it was all about me, right? There's things I'm shameful for, and I was like, I don't one. I'm not going to go ahead and jump and tell people I'm doing this energy stuff. And two, who am I to broadcast my light in the world when I have had all these mistakes, when I am flawed? I thought I was fundamentally flawed. I thought to myself, sure, I can do this, behind the scenes. Nobody knows about it because I love doing this. I love helping, but I can't be there because I'm flawed. So those are the things that were stopping me, right? And they sound very, very real. And I'm sure you all have also experienced things that are holding you back or have held you back. So I remember walking into went to Sedona, and I was with my wife. Now we went into this place, and we talked to this gal who was a really, really gifted intuitive, one of our friends. And I remember back then our friendship was new, so she didn't know much about us. So we just ran in the same circles, and I remember we got an intuitive reading from her, and she I didn't have to say a word. Held my hand, looked into my eye, and started telling me things that nobody else could know. I'm like, wow, this person is really gifted, right? So that happened, and then I remember she's like, there's a really powerful message coming for you, right? And it says, you've got to shine your light. You've got to be seen. And I'm like, there's no way. And I was like, first of all, how did you know that was the biggest thing I was hiding? That was one of the things that was keeping me up at night. Hopefully nobody knew. I was an energy healer, but I was keeping that a secret from the world. But how did you know? But second, why? Why do you even think that? And I grew up with a Catholic upbringing in my family, right? That was the environment. And so she was like, so she used a little bit of those elements on me, I remember. And I was saying, don't think I should. Because based on my past, I hurt people. I've been hurt. And because I've been hurt, like I pull away and end up hurting people as a protection mechanism to get them away. Because I've experienced stuff. So I'm not really the perfect fit for this. Like, why me? Out of every single person in the world, how am I supposed to do that? Right? I am the least qualified person. I had like the anti-hero complex, right? And I remember until this day, I still battle that in ways. And I remember she said to me, "It's like, look, right? You think you've messed up, and you have all these things that you're shameful for, that make you flawed. But guess what? Everybody in the world has a human story. You are not unique. Everybody's got a story, right? Everybody's got a story. They got a human one. They also have a divine one. But not everybody gets to live out and realize and act on their divine story. They're stuck in their human story. And when they're in the rocking chair moment, right, in the end of their life, they realize they had a divine one. And a lot of times it's too late. They weren't able to act on it, and regret kicks in, right? So right now, you've got a divine story, and it is a powerful one, and it will help and shift and change a lot of lives. Like right now, you can help somebody. You really can help them be free from pain and activate who they are. And I'm like, okay. And at this point, I was like, I don't know what it means, but it's hitting all the right places that it needs to hit. And I was absorbing it. And she said, if you want to make it right, if you want penance, to right your wrongs or what you're shameful for that you've done, or you think you're inadequate or not good enough, I've got a message from your higher power. And if you're watching this, when I say higher power, it can be God, universe, your guides, whatever resonates with you. So she looks at me and says, I've got a message. And the message is, if you want to make it right, then be seen. Shine your light. Because it will be a shame if even one soul missed out on having a beautiful life, on being activated, right? And being helped because you chose to hide instead of be seen. So if you want to make it right, if you want your penance, if you want, your action step to right your wrongs, be seen, shine your light, and do what you're here to do. And I remember that hit deep. And like always, it took me a while. It took me literally 2-3 years of that sinking in. And the thing that moved me was when my wife was pregnant, and we were having our son, who's now, by the way, close to turning 3. I thought to myself, wow, I've got to be the best dad for this little fella over here. I can't be the best example, right? This is a new life. I can't have this new life starting, and I'm the example hiding and not shining my light. So that was my motivation. That was my why, right? And so the two things that are important here is I had my why, and my why is why I did it. So even when I knew what I had to do, I procrastinated it for a long time, right? But my why is what got me there. And honestly, nowadays, I live in my divine story. Because a lot of times, for the longest time, my human story was 99% of my life, of my day. It occupied majority of my headspace and my heart space and my energy is my human story. Now, it's tilted. I try 80 to 90% divine story and less than 10% human story. Because the human story, it's so limiting. It's so debilitating. It holds us back. And it is not an accurate description of who you are, what you're here to do, and what you're here to create. Human story is a chapter or a few pages of your life, but it becomes the rest of your life. That's all you focus on. It's all you have on repeat. While the rest of your life, literally, it's another book. The next chapter is your divine stories. What are you here to do? What are you here to create? Right? So right now, are you living in your divine story, human story, and do you want to live in your divine story? Because it solves a lot of issues. When you're in that space, it's endless possibility, it's endless potential. You literally have nothing to fear because God, higher power, universe is on your side, supporting you, cradling you in love as you do what you're here to do. So that's the one thing, is the human story and divine story. What story are you living in, and what story do you want to be living in? Is the question. It's a reality check. And I'm sharing with you what, this amazing intuitive gal shared with me before. I'm sharing this with you now so you can hopefully feel the energy and have a realization like I did, a breakthrough. And then what is your why? Like, what is your why? Who's the most important? What is the most important thing to you right now? Right? And how can you use that as fuel to start living in your divine story? Because we do have limited time here, but we can make it count. We can make it count, right? So there's two powerful lessons. And the third one I want to share with you literally is, it was when I started, it's about needs. We all have needs, right? And for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you, love is a big need, right? And so it's probably happiness. Like, for me, it's love, happiness, curiosity, like, learning, adventure, fun. Like, these are all needs. And I'm sure you have some, right? And write them down if you have them, because some of them are like, you might have like everyone has different needs. Some of them are silly, or some of the needs are creativity or expression. But we have things that we need that make us happy, make us fulfilled, that sets our souls on fire. So write them down, right? And for me, one of the last lessons I want to impart in you, first one was divine story. Let's start living in it, right? Second one is, what's your why? Use that as a fuel in everything that you do. For me, it was my son that was unborn back then. That was my why, right? And sometimes your why can be you. You're sick and tired of where you are and you want something better. That can be a why. So the third thing is needs. And I realized, as our needs, the ones that we have, they're like oxygen to the body, but they're oxygen for our soul, for our being. And a lot of times we have rules. We have rules that prevent us from experiencing our needs on a daily basis. But the thing is, our needs is it's like drinking water. It's like eating food, right? It's like brushing your teeth. You have to do it daily, several times a day, because we need it to survive. We need it to be healthy. We just need it to operate, right? Same thing with our needs. But the thing is, we typically have rules that make it impossible to meet our needs. For example, if love is one of my needs, or fun, and our lives will be better if our needs are met. Because if you're experiencing fun and love as often as you can in the day, you'll be a better person. You'll be happier. Your vibe will be different. The energy that you put out there will be different. Therefore, you're going to attract different people to you, better opportunities, and life's just going to be amazing, right? But for the most part, like for me, I have rules. Like, self-love, self-care. I'm going to wait. I'm not gonna have my alone time or my salt bath or a massage or reading or this until I've done this. I've jumped through all these different hoops. But the expectations are so high to where it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, and I still haven't met my own expectations. Therefore, I deprive myself of experiencing the love, the fun, self-care, the gratitude, the things that I love, because I have these unrealistic rules. So the biggest shift that I had is figure out what your needs are and make it so that you're experiencing it several times a day. If you love dancing, don't wait till you're in a club to dance. It's turn on music, dance in the morning, dance between your breaks, dance in lunchtime, right? If you love, being by yourself and experiencing your essence and your nature, then do that. It doesn't matter, if it's 5 minutes, if it's 10 minutes, if it's an hour, start doing it. Because when we start feeding our soul, when we start meeting our own needs, and when you stop chasing it externally and expect people to give it to us, and we become resentful when they don't, we're like, you know what? I'm taking my power back. I'm going to meet my own needs. These are the activities, these are the things that when I do them, I feel loved, I feel happy, right? I feel fulfilled, right? It can be like a lot of it boils down to those rules that we have. It can be some people I know, for them, they're like, okay, I only reward myself and take care of myself if I've helped people. And for them, the definition of helping is I gotta be working and giving 16 hours a day for 2 weeks straight and giving everything I have. And when I'm running on empty and when I have nothing left to give and then when I'm literally at the end of my my rope, then that means I've helped enough, then therefore I can self-care, right? And what happens? Life happens, work happens. They can't do the 7 days straight. They can't do the 16 hours straight. So they don't think they're worthy or ready for receiving and getting their needs met. So 2 months pass by, 3 months, a year, 2 year, and nothing has been met. And they're in a low vibration, miserable, unhappy, because their soul, their hearts aren't filled and their needs are not being met. Versus, what if you smiling or thinking positively about somebody or sending them positive energy is helping, and that qualifies as helping, right? It doesn't have to be this big, giant, unsustainable, unachievable, unmaintainable rule that you have or hoops that you have that if you do this, that's the only time I can do this. So the key is making it easy to experience the things that really fulfill your soul and fulfill your needs. And that helps a lot. All right. And that really is. So that's about it for today. I wanted to come up here and I was inspired to share 3 things that if you took action in it, if you implemented it today, it would change your life permanently. And those are the 3 that I stand by, and there's more, but those 3, like even if you pick one, it's going to make a massive difference. So if you learned this, if you learned new things and give you a breakthrough and you love this, please let me know your favorite parts. Don't forget to like, comment, and also, please, if this was impactful for you, if you feel like this message is something that needs to go out there, and you want to help me with my purpose in spreading more love and positivity and just light in the world, please share this video and with somebody that you feel like needs to hear it as well. That this video will help them. All right, so that's about it. Thank you for joining me. Let me know your favorite parts or your questions below. I love you all, and remember, when you heal yourself, heal others, and you also heal the world. All right, I'll see you on the next video.